Alright, so we're going to try to make this demon build. Ideally, your hero would have an ability that either activates a play ability or it would increase your most common faction's stats everywhere. I didn't have that on the first page. This guy's okay since he increases stats based off of each unit in your hand. You should end up with a lot in your hand if things go well. That's rough. Nothing we want. Just throw those two up there, I suppose, and hope for the best. Sometimes you just have to kind of flow with whatever happens at the beginning and get your early victories and hope for the best for later. We do like this guy. The fact that he's fading, so you discard him every turn is good. You want as many discards as you can get throughout the entire match. The fact you summon back to your hand is a bonus. We'll take this guy because we can sell him. We didn't get anything we wanted, but we're able to upgrade. Drakeheart Ruby's good from the dragons. Just increases our coin count for maximum coins. Does not look like we're gonna get what we want. Just simply does not look like we're gonna get it. Here we go. The Mimic is good. Gets a barrier every time you add a demon to your hand. Discarding gives it... discarding doesn't do anything. It's when you put a demon in your hand, which the Mimic will do. Or not the Mimic, but the Crawler does. We're actually going to sell both of these because we want him as well. Ooh, that was really nice. So we want the Invoker, discard a unit to get a demon. That's super helpful. It adds another demon to the hand, so the Mimic's going to get the proc from getting a demon in your hand. Increasing its stats and giving it a barrier. This also takes place if you drop some off your hand, or if you discard from your hand or draw something to your hand while you're in the middle of the match, it will still proc that. Always use him first. Because if you just triple up the Mimic and then you put him out there and he draws a Mimic, you wasted your coins. This guy's also nice. Demons everywhere get stat increases, and it increases that stat increase. Very nice. This is also the version that comes back to your hand at the start of the turn. So that is also nice. That's why we want that one. I could have waited and hoped that we got rid of him so that we get that again. But I also just kind of wanted to get that triple. And we didn't get him anyway. Nice. We want him. Balrog the Fallen. He's going to give us discarding 3 cards to get a high tier demon every turn. But we have to have 3 cards for it. We just got him too late to be able to put a 3rd in the hand. We have not gotten our cards that make us able to just absolutely destroy goblins yet. Not there. We're just not quite there yet. Ooh. We like him. That is why we like him. Activates the playability an extra time every 2 turns. Right on our invoker. Get a free discard, right? Throw him up there, just discard again. And you could wait for this, but I really like having myself up at 5. We want him. All units in your hand get stats. You improve the stat buff that it gets, and then you discard everything in your hand. We want that. That kind of sucks, because we just got a card we want, but we're gonna discard him right there. But that card we got is the reason we want that dude. Not at the moment. Ooh. Oof. Our Gorgonzola. Give our demons a buff for everything we've discarded, which is why we want as many discards as we can. This is what you want. Give units everywhere stat buff just for one turn. Improve it. But get an exact copy of me. That's what you're looking for. You want that. Like that about the pits. Boom. And since Balrog the Fallen gives you a tier 4 or 5 demon, you can get him again. Actually, we're going to put him up here. He's not bad to have, just because when we discard something each turn, we'll get something that has a discard ability, which includes a few things that we would like to have. Like, he's good. This is another thing we want to have in our hand. Hadoken's Wrath. Another one that gets an exact copy. And it throws a death ability to summon a Cerberus in the place of a demon on death. We like that. And you see how we just got rid of the hand and buffed everything? This procs again because we got rid of it. So we're getting that stat buff again while also improving that stat buff because we discarded that from our hands. We also improve the stat buff. It's real nice. Boom. Now that's tripled. Beautiful. We can get rid of him. Hellspawn Vanguard. There you go. That is a typical build right there for what you're looking for, hopefully. It's really hard to triple anything after this point. But that doesn't mean you cannot try. Okay, I'm just going to freeze it because I maxed out my hand. But we'll see what happens here. Boom. I see we've got our death ability across 3 more people here. The fact that you keep summoning the Cerberus is going to be how you get around the goblins. This is where you run into a problem now because we have too many things, but we want to try to grab the Gorgonzola. Just don't get rid of your double because your double gives you 2 demons on death ability for the Cerberus. So you don't want to get rid of your double. Or your triple, I mean. Now, we're going to lose him anyway. So keep the ones that give you your discard buff. Triple. And then he might get us another one down there that we could utilize better. That demon's also good to have in your hand because he adds another demon to your hand when he gets discarded, right? Which just makes your discards higher up when you get to this point and your Maestro dies. Which we just beat that team without the Maestro dying. So we didn't get those discards. So he doesn't go back to our hand because it's full. Which is part of why you want to also hit him with that one ability to make him use his shit more often. Get rid of you for that guy just in case we can triple him. Oh, and we can. It's actually just beautiful. Because now instead of half your damage, you get all the damage from demons you discard. Which means, why keep that in your hand when you could have a demon and add stats to your hand for discarding? And you see how the ones that are fading you still discard anyways? Even though Balrog discarded them at the end of the hand, they're back in your hand because they come to it, so you discard it a second time as your turn ends. That's part of what makes them great. You can see with the Gorgonzola, we're already starting to sit up there 600 to 1,000 on our stats. You do want the Mimic to be your first thing that attacks, since everything's drawn to the Maestro with his taunt. And you're going to constantly be giving things back to your hand, giving your Mimic even during combat once your Maestro dies and discards your hand and you resummon those cards to your hand. You're going to get your oh no. You're just going to get your barrier back up again. So it's kind of worth doing. We're not going to have space to use that guy to be able to do it again on the Invoker. Typically, though, you're able to get 2 or 3 of the that buff on the Invoker for you to discard additional times, so your discard gets up there much higher. And the opponents this time also are not really killing the Maestro. Early on, I usually draw this Imp and play him, so all your demons also have a stat buff. that's much higher than this. Discarded 71 times, which isn't bad. That is also usually higher. Here we are. Now he's giving us 30-30. Has +2. I've usually had him tripled for a long time, though. And I've usually drawn I've usually had the ability to have these guys buffed far more from our other demon. And we only got that dude twice. So, the one that returns to our hand but has the discard ability to buff demons everywhere. Right, we just didn't get it very often. But we did not get ideal rolls leading through to getting here, but this is the build you want. It can be much higher if you can get better rolls for your demons. It can be sitting there with your whole team at like 2k just off of the Gorgonzola's buff. But that's the build.